Hi everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we'll be talking about both of these needles, the large one and the small one, what they're used for, how to use them, and how to make adjustments on the needles. That way you can make them work in different ways. As you know, we have a website, rugbabe.com, where we sell tufting guns like this one, the ZQ2, and also sell tufting material in order to help you guys out in your rug making process. And if you guys need help on your tufting gun or need advice on tufting in general, you could always send us an email at support@rugbabe.com. You could also schedule a video chat just in case you have a bigger issue with your tufting gun. So here we go. Here you could see the smaller needle head, which is a little pointier compared to the larger needle head, which is a little more flat and square. Along with that, you also have your loop pile head and your scissor cut pile head. Now I'll go over which needle do I use with which cut head and if they're both universal and can be used vice versa. So here we have both needles, the smaller one and the larger one. And people always ask us, what is the main difference between both of them? So one of the main differences, the smaller needle is only a loop pile needle. As you can see here, the smaller needle is made specifically only to cut in loop pile. Like I'm showing here, the loop pile head slides perfectly in this needle. This allows it to make that perfect crisp line you want. Now you might ask, well, what about the larger needle? What's that one used for? Well, the larger needle is specifically made for the scissor cut head. That's what it's specifically made for, but it can be used both for scissors and loop. As you notice, as your larger needle has a wider base, it could fit both easily the scissors, which allows it to open and close, and the loop, which allows it to go back and forth with no issues. So again, your larger needle allows both scissor cut and loop cut heads, both because it has that wider base, which allows the scissors to open and close smoothly without jamming up your gun. So this is the issue we run into all the time. People always ask me, can I get my smaller needle to not only do loop, but to as well do cut pile without it jamming up my gun? And the answer is yes. I'm gonna show you my gun, which is already set up with the smaller needle, and show you how it works. So this is my gun, the one I always use. And as you can see, I have the small needle on top, and I have these scissors already installed. I'll show you right now how it looks from the underside to show you that the gun does not jam or it does not have additional friction, because I went and adjusted a few things that I'll be showing you guys how to do here in a bit. Here's an under view of the gun, and as you can see, the scissors do come out and they do close. And as they're going back in, there's no added friction, there's no added jamming, nothing is wrong with the gun, and it works smoothly. So why did I use this setup? I'll show you right now. So first I'll show you the setup I use with the loop pile. I have the smaller needle and the loop pile head, and you're gonna see how this gun runs a little smoother once it's adjusted the right way. Check it out, I purposely kept running the gun beyond the line to show you with the proper setup of the gun, I was not worried about tearing a hole in the fabric. So now let me show you guys the same setup, the smaller needle, but now with the scissors, and let's see what it does. Again, I purposely kept running the gun and it did not tear the fabric. Now from the back, you could see both the loop and the cut are very thick and very uniform, making for a good rug. And again, it did not tear the fabric. Now a good cloth also helps. We do sell this cloth on our website, rugbabe.com, along with the gun we use. We also have a YouTube channel that shows you other ways to set up your gun and how to build frames and other helpful videos that you guys might want to check out. So now that I've showed you what the two needles are meant to do, let's take apart the gun, adjust a few things, and see if we could get the smaller needle to work just the same as the big needle. So if you want to know the proper way to strip down your gun and get into it, we have another video on our YouTube channel that you can check out that shows you how to do this. Here we have my needle that's already been adjusted, the normal needle that hasn't been adjusted yet, and then the square needle, which is a little bigger and a little fatter. And up close like this, you can kind of tell the difference between the bigger needle and the smaller needle. The size and shape is a big giveaway. So then how did we adjust our needle to fit the scissors, being that I told you that the small needle is just meant for the loop head? Well, I'll show you how to do that. So let's take apart the needle and get into it a little more. So here's the disclaimer. If you feel like you're uncomfortable working on your gun and possibly manipulating it in a way that you cannot fix it again, then stop. You could always contact us at support@rugbabe.com and we could help you out further. So now looking at the needles side by side, there's a slight difference between them, and let me show you what I mean. So again, if you feel any issues with manipulating parts of your gun, stop. The large needle does work perfectly fine, honestly, and you could finish most projects without any issues with the large needle. What I did is I took my Allen wrench set and I slowly started opening up the needle, a little by little, wrench by wrench, from a 4 to a 5 to a 6, trying to get it just open enough so I could fit the scissor head inside of it. Here I'm up to a 5, and you can see how it fits a adjusted needle but doesn't fit a non-adjusted needle. What I'm doing is I'm placing the Allen wrench inside the walls of the needle, and with the hammer I'm pushing it down, opening up those walls. Now I've made it all the way up to a 6, and you can see the drastic difference in how open the adjusted needle is compared to the non-adjusted needle. Even though it may not seem like a lot, this little difference is what we're looking for in order for it to work. Now side to side, the large needle and the adjusted small needle don't look much different, which is good because now the scissors slides easily through that smaller needle, which is what we wanted. So here's what I meant by your non-adjusted needle will kind of jam up and add additional friction. As you can see, it doesn't really fit in the small needle without that adjustment, and as it's going backwards, it doesn't close all the way, causing the gun to click. Let me show you what I mean. So here we have the setup with the small needle and the scissors. Remember that the small needle is only used for loop pile, so the scissors aren't gonna fit. Now you can see that they go out just fine, but it's the coming back in where they get stuck, and right here you can see the scissors are stuck and adding a lot of friction. Your gun will power through it, but it does do this little click, and after a while this might cause issues with your gun. So now let's put the gun back together. Again, if you don't feel comfortable through any of these steps, just go ahead and stop. You could contact us at rugbabe.com and we could either set up a video chat with you or have you send your gun to us and we'll adjust it for you for a small fee. Here's the large needle setup. Now what I'm going to show you is a quick demonstration of that if you continue to run your gun, it's really not an issue, but there is a slight difference between the large needle and the small needle. Again, I kept running the gun just to show you guys that it's not going to tear the fabric and that the smaller needle does have a difference. And here's a previous video of the small needle setup. Now after a ton of practice and a ton of rug making, I've come to realize that the smaller needle makes a straighter line. Now how much does this affect? Really not much. It's just a personal preference that I like my lines a little crisper and a little straighter. Remember, if you guys have any issues with your guns or any questions in general on tufting, you could always send us an email at support@rugbabe.com and we'll get back to you with an answer. And we could also set up a video chat where we could talk a little bit more about the issues you may have or tufting in general. We know that sometimes it's hard to get in contact with some of these other gun dealers, so even if you didn't get your gun from us, we'll go ahead and help you out. Just go ahead and contact us at that email. Thank you for watching again. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and go ahead and check out some of our other videos. We also have our Instagram and our website for you guys to check out as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again on another video.